In South Korea, citizens are being asked to shower with less water to conserve the gas used for heating. In Thailand, the Prime Minister is arriving at his office in short-sleeved shirts, urging his staff to follow suit so the government can turn down the air conditioning. In Pakistan, the fuel shortage is so severe that petrol is no longer sold primarily by the liter. At many pumps, it is rationed into 50 and 100 milliliter medicine bottles for drivers who have been waiting in line for hours. To protect their energy grids, Egypt is mandating that shopping malls close twice a week, while Sri Lanka has resorted to declaring mid-week public holidays to keep people off the roads and reduce national fuel consumption. This global paralysis is the direct result of the conflict in the Middle East. The war has effectively severed the supply chains that the modern world relies on for energy and transport. The center of the disruption is the Strait of Hormuz. A massive portion of the world's energy flows through this narrow geographic bottleneck, where dozens of Indian and international cargo vessels are currently trapped or blocked from their routes. The closure of these routes is a massive economic shockwave that is dictating how people work, eat, and travel thousands of miles away from the front lines. India is feeling the impact across its entire economy. In just 1 month, the Indian stock market witnessed a 51 lakh crore rupee wipeout as investors reacted to the growing instability. This chart shows the scale of the capital flight. Total market capitalization fell from 456 lakh crore to 411 lakh crore, as foreign institutional investors pulled 12 lakh crore rupees out of the Indian market in a single month. As capital left the country, the Indian rupee fell to a historic low. It crossed the 95-cent mark against the US dollar, making it the worst-performing currency in Asia during the start of this crisis. This happens because global investors view the US dollar as a safe haven during wartime. They sell emerging market currencies, like the rupee, to buy dollars, which weakens the domestic currency and makes every imported barrel of oil more expensive. The weakening rupee creates a cycle of rising costs for electronics, oil, and food. The challenge for India is whether it can absorb these rising costs without resorting to the extreme energy rationing seen in neighboring nations. On the ground, the shortage is visible in the multi-kilometer lines at gas stations in Sambhajinagar and Bengaluru. Auto rickshaw drivers are losing days of income, waiting hours for auto LPG that often runs out before they reach the pump. The commercial sector is facing a similar crisis. Thousands of small restaurants and dhabas have seen their LPG deliveries stalled, forcing many to either shut down completely or revert to using kerosene stoves to keep their businesses running. This daily friction has led to political conflict. Opposition leaders are using the rising fuel prices to warn of an economic earthquake, questioning the government's ability to protect the public from the global price surge. The government maintains that this is an external crisis that no single nation can avoid. They argue that navigating a locked-down global market requires a unified domestic front, rather than using inflation as a political weapon. While the political debate continues, the nation's energy systems are under heavy pressure, forcing the deployment of emergency logistical measures to maintain basic services. The first response is a 60-day emergency plan to reintroduce kerosene distribution. The government has issued a notification allowing states that were previously kerosene-free to begin selling the fuel through the public distribution system. To manage the limited supply, distribution is capped at 5,000 liters per pump. This measure is intended to take the immediate pressure off the commercial LPG supply, giving households and small businesses an alternative fuel for cooking. Simultaneously, the government is bypassing blocked routes by rerouting cargo. 2 rescue vessels carrying 94,000 metric tons of LPG recently navigated past the conflict zone and are expected to reach Mumbai and New Mangalore by early April. Domestically, the government has fast-tracked the ONGC Daman offshore gas project. Made operational in just 2 years, this facility is located 180 kilometers off Mumbai. Its subsea pipeline pumps gas directly to Gujarat, bypassing threatened shipping lanes. The shift toward kerosene and the rush to operationalize offshore gas are tactical maneuvers intended to bypass a global supply chain that has effectively stalled. The crisis illustrates the reality of a hyper-connected world. Conflict in the Middle East has a direct mathematical impact on the price of a bag of fertilizer in rural India, where costs are rising despite government subsidies. Since a third of global fertilizer exports move through the blocked strait, India is currently negotiating with alternative suppliers. The government is holding talks with Russia, Morocco, and Canada to secure the stock needed for the upcoming agricultural season. While the Indian rupee and stock market are under severe pressure, the combination of domestic gas production and emergency fuel distribution has provided a buffer that neighboring nations currently lack. These measures have so far prevented the total energy lockdowns seen in Thailand or Sri Lanka. Navigating this global shockwave relies on the speed of infrastructure engineering and the system's ability to adapt while primary trade arteries remain blocked.